It's very likely that you found yourself in this situation more than once. You're exhausted, you have no time for your own projects, you've barely rested, and yet when someone asks for help or a favor, you say yes without hesitation. We've been taught to believe that putting ourselves last is a sign of generosity. We grew up with the idea that thinking of our own needs before others is selfish. Because of that, we fill our calendars with other people's commitments, solve everyone else's emergencies, and leave our own projects, health, and rest for when there's time left over. But the reality is that time is never left over. Time is allocated. When you live like this for years, something inevitable happens. You run out of energy, your mood becomes irritable, your creativity vanishes, and you start feeling a quiet resentment toward the very people you're trying to help. You wonder why life feels so hard and why good opportunities or prosperity never seem to reach you. The answer is simpler than it seems. You can't offer anything of value to the world if you don't give it to yourself first. Traditions of thought that observed nature understood centuries ago that every balanced system works from the inside out. A freshwater spring doesn't ask the forest for permission to fill up before letting its water flow downstream. Today, we're going to reflect on why prioritizing yourself isn't selfish, but rather the first requirement for building a stable, clear, and fulfilling life. Imagine a water well beside a road. If the well is full to the brim, any traveler passing by can quench their thirst. The well doesn't need to struggle or chase after travelers. Its simple fullness is helpful to everyone who approaches. Now, imagine that same well dries up because it tried to give away water before receiving enough rain. When the next traveler arrives, they'll only find mud and dust. No matter how good the well's intentions were, it can no longer help anyone. This metaphor applies directly to your daily life. When you try to care for your family, perform at work, or support your friends out of exhaustion and self-neglect, you're not giving your best. You're giving what's left of your emergency reserves. You give attention, but with impatience, time with haste, and help with an inner drain that takes a toll sooner or later. Prioritizing yourself means making sure your own container is full before trying to serve others. This doesn't mean ignoring those around you or treating their needs with disrespect. It means understanding the natural order of things. When you take care of your rest, your food, your workspace, and your peace of mind, the quality of everything you do improves. The help you offer no longer comes from guilt or forced obligation, but from a genuine abundance of energy. One of the biggest barriers to putting yourself first is the fear of being judged. We're terrified that others will think we're selfish, insensitive, or cold. There is, however, a very clear difference between selfishness and personal responsibility. Selfishness is demanding that others adapt their lives to your desires, seeking benefit at the expense of someone else's well-being. It's an attitude rooted in scarcity and the need for control. Personal responsibility, on the other hand, is taking charge of your own existence so you don't become a burden to others. A tree doesn't apologize to the forest for stretching its roots deep into the ground to absorb water and nutrients. It knows that the stronger and taller its trunk grows, the more shade and shelter it can offer to the birds resting on its branches. If the tree decided to restrict its own growth to avoid taking up space, it would fall during the very first storm. When you don't prioritize yourself, you delegate the responsibility for your well-being to others. You expect those around you to guess how tired you are, appreciate your sacrifices, or give you the recognition you aren't giving yourself. By taking on the habit of attending to your basic needs without waiting for anyone's approval, you reclaim your autonomy, You become a more grounded, predictable person, someone others can trust because they see that you know how to take care of yourself. Abundance is often talked about as if it were a lucky event or something achieved through pure exhaustion and rush. We think that to have more resources, more space, or better opportunities, we have to work double the hours and accept every task that comes our way. But if you look at how balanced environments work, you realize that abundance is the direct result of order. When your mind is overwhelmed from saying yes to too many things, you lose your judgment. You make hasty decisions, make mistakes out of fatigue, and pass up good opportunities simply because you don't have the mental room to recognize them. An exhausted mind can only react to daily emergencies. It can't plan or build anything lasting. Bringing better conditions into your life doesn't require running faster. It requires making space. When you start saying no to commitments that offer you nothing, to conversations that drain you, and to tasks others could do for themselves, something interesting happens. You create an open space, and it's in that open space that new ideas, better projects, and more balanced relationships can enter. Abundance doesn't enter a life already cluttered with disorder and other people's obligations. It needs a clean, well-defined foundation to thrive. Setting clear boundaries isn't about building a wall of hostility against the outside world. It's defining the framework within which you can function in a healthy, clear way. Many people hesitate when setting a boundary because they fear the other person's reaction. They think that saying, "I can't help you today," or "I need this weekend for myself," will ruin a relationship or cause an irreversible conflict. But experience shows the opposite. People respect those who respect their own time. When you say yes to everything out of fear of letting people down, your answer loses value. People get used to you always being available, and your effort stops being seen as a generous gesture and becomes a basic expectation. Learning to prioritize yourself requires keeping explanations brief. When you need to protect your rest or your work time, you don't need to offer elaborate excuses or long explanations to justify yourself. A polite and firm, "I can't make it work this time," or "I need to focus on my own priorities today," is more than enough. At first, it's normal to feel a bit uncomfortable. It's simply the old habit of people-pleasing dissolving. Over time, that discomfort is replaced by a clear sense of quiet peace, the certainty that you are managing your life wisely. Prioritizing yourself doesn't require reorganizing your entire life overnight. It's about introducing small, conscious pauses into your routine that remind you that you are the starting point of your own well-being. Here are 3 simple habits you can incorporate without complications. First, keep your first hour free from outside urgency. Try not to spend the first 30 to 60 minutes of your morning checking notifications, news, or work messages. Use that initial time to eat breakfast calmly, move your body, or simply wake up without rushing. If you start your day reacting to others' demands, you'll spend the rest of the day on defense. Second, use an intention filter before accepting a task. Every time someone asks for an additional commitment or favor, don't answer immediately. Get into the habit of pausing for a few seconds and asking yourself, "Am I saying yes because I genuinely want and am able to help? Or am I saying yes just out of fear of looking bad?" If the answer is fear, take a moment before giving a thoughtful response. Third, treat rest as a non-negotiable appointment. Don't leave rest for whatever time is left over at the end of the day, because there's almost never time left over. Shape your week by setting aside specific blocks of time to do nothing, to read, or to enjoy your hobbies, and treat that time with the same respect you would give an important meeting. Rest isn't a reward you earn after burning out. It's the fuel you need to keep going. When you learn to prioritize yourself with serenity, the world around you doesn't fall apart. On the contrary, things start finding their proper place. You stop seeking approval for every step you take. You stop accumulating quiet resentment, and you regain the clarity you lost from being tied to everyone else's expectations. Your energy becomes steady, and your presence becomes much more valuable to those around you. Remember that this isn't about competing with anyone or closing yourself off from the world. It's about understanding that to truly care for your surroundings, you must first be capable of caring for yourself. Take the time you need to organize your inner house, protect your resources, and strengthen your center. Everything else will arrive in due time, naturally and without force. Let me know in the comments, what is one small choice you're going to make today to start taking better care of your time and energy? I look forward to reading your thoughts. Thank you for sharing this space for reflection today. If these words brought you clarity, subscribe to keep exploring ideas that help you live with more calmness and presence. Have a peaceful day and keep walking at your own pace.